Welcome to the Compliance Officer's Playbook podcast. Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into a fascinating, really high-stakes debate unfolding in Switzerland. It's all about how a country, long synonymous with financial prowess and, discretion, is now grappling with new anti-money laundering, or AML rules. The core tension we'll explore. It's this balance between the competitiveness of its globally renowned financial center against its international credibility and its obligations. We've gathered insights from parliamentary debates, government warnings, expert analyses, trying to give you a clear, comprehensive picture of what's really going on and, importantly, what it means for compliance professionals like you.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is that this isn't just some internal Swiss issue. Not at all. It perfectly encapsulates a global challenge that, frankly, many financial centers are wrestling with right now. How do you adapt to evolving and often, let's face it, tightening international standards like those from the Financial Action Task Force, the FATF, without feeling like you're sacrificing economic advantage or even, national sovereignty? This deep dive should really help understand the nuances of this intricate balance and the significant implications it has for global compliance strategies.
So let's set the stage a bit for this compelling discussion. The Swiss parliament right now is locked in a pretty intense debate. It's over new government proposals designed to strengthen their anti-money laundering rules. And this isn't just coming out of nowhere. It's a direct response to recommendations from the Financial Action Task Force. The overarching goal, it's undeniably crucial: preventing financial crime, maintaining the integrity of the global financial system.
Right. And for anyone listening who might be less familiar, FATF is, it's essentially the intergovernmental organization acting as the global watchdog against money laundering and terrorist financing. They set the international standards countries are expected to implement, and the pressure to comply, it's immense. The potential consequences for countries that don't meet these standards, they can range from being gray-listed to outright blacklisted, which significantly impacts their access to global finance. It's about much more than just adopting good practices. It's really about maintaining trust and, access in this hyper-connected financial world.
Absolutely. The stakes are incredibly high. You can see why it's such a focus. But even with that clear directive, that global imperative, you've got these immediate points of contention vigorously emerging from the parliamentary debates. We're seeing strong pushback on a couple of key proposed changes. Firstly, there's this move to exclude nonprofit organizations and, crucially, trusts from a new transparency register they want to set up. And secondly, there's a significant effort underway to ease due diligence requirements, specifically for lawyers and financial advisors. These aren't minor tweaks, are they? They represent pretty substantial carve-outs from the government's proposed framework.
Precisely. And for our listeners, it's probably worth taking a moment just to underscore why these particular areas are so critical from a compliance perspective. Trust arrangements, for instance. These are often vehicles where assets are held by one party for another's benefit. It makes the true owner inherently opaque, often incredibly difficult to trace. This structural opacity is exactly what criminals often exploit to hide illicit funds. It's a known vulnerability. And similarly, easing due diligence for lawyers and advisors. Well, that typically means less stringent requirements for identifying clients, verifying their source of funds, or understanding the real economic purpose of a transaction.
Right, the basics.
Yeah, the basics. This creates potentially significant blind spots for money laundering. It opens avenues for abuse that, compliance professionals are constantly working hard to close. So these proposed exclusions, they could effectively undermine the very purpose of the new AML rules.
Which brings us squarely to the pushback we're seeing. Lawmakers are arguing, pretty strongly actually, that implementing stricter AML rules isn't just administratively burdensome, but could actually harm Switzerland's long-term financial competitiveness. It's that classic high-stakes economic versus regulatory dilemma playing out right now. You've got Barbara Steinman, she's a federal lawmaker for the right-wing Swiss People's Party, articulating this view quite clearly. She said, and I'm quoting here from Reuters, "This is about a war between financial centers and economic interests," end quote. Going on to suggest that the Americans and other European countries would like to take over our business.
Wow, a war. That's strong language.
It is. She firmly believes Switzerland has dutifully implemented rules, driving up bureaucracy and eroding competitiveness, while others, she claims, held back. And it's not just her. Simone Giannini of the center-right Liberals also believes this transparency drive mustn't lead to overregulation, echoing those concerns about potential overreach.
That's a powerful and, somewhat combative framing, calling it a war. It sort of begs the question, doesn't it? Is there real quantifiable evidence that other nations are deliberately holding back on AML enforcement? Or is this maybe more about the perceived competitive pressure Switzerland feels, given its, unique history and position in global finance?
That's a crucial distinction, I think, and it really speaks to the emotional core of this debate within Switzerland. Because while the country can point to its proactive implementation of various international standards, this perception of fairness, of equitable global enforcement, it's clearly a sore point for some. It highlights how much of this battle isn't just about hard data and compliance checklists, right? It's also about national narratives, economic identity, and maybe a sense of national pride in its financial sector's capabilities.
Indeed. If you're loving this conversation and want to be part of keeping it going, the best way to support the show is to become a paid subscriber on Apple Podcasts. You'll get access to the full episode, plus every deep dive we do. Head to Apple Podcasts, search Compliance Officer's Playbook, and join our growing community today. Invite listeners who love this show to become a paid subscriber today for $5 USD, and get full access to all premium episodes packed with insights, stories, and value they won't find anywhere else. Thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive.